Okay, good evening. We'll call the meeting to order. Clerk, do you have a roll call?
Yes. Mayor Robert McKee,
Present.
Don Burton,
Present.
Jason Campbell,
Present.
Hank Murray,
Present.
Clayton Rice,
Present.
Jacqueline Rominger,
Present.
Chris Kinney.
Present.
Thank you. All right, as you can hear, please use your mics when we speak tonight. Pastor Gladys, are you here? I don't see him. Okay. Counselor Kinney, would you do the invocation, please? And if everybody would stand and remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance led by Chief Rogers this evening.
If you would, please pray with me. Father, we thank you for this opportunity to come together as a body and as a community. I just pray that you always watch over us, you guide us in the discussions that we have, the decisions that we make, so that this community can be a light to others, and that each one of us can be a light to others around us. Help us to glorify you in all that we do. In your Son's name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Please be seated. Okay, approval of the minutes from the July 28th, 2025 regular city council meeting.
So moved as read. Second.
Motion and second. Any discussion? Hearing no discussion, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay? Ayes have it, motion carries. Public comments, we have two signed up this evening. And first, Sophie Hott, if you'd want to go to the mic, please.
So I'm back. Mr. Rominger had the papers. Okay. When I was here before about the object on the easement at the street for the sidewalks, you talked about developing a code, but you really don't have to develop a code. The code that Chris Kinney found is very explicit. You have it, I highlighted in the pink there, because it does say any structure, vehicle, machine, or object encroached upon on the public streets, sidewalk, land, easement, or the right-of-ways. That's what I'm concerned about. Our students are going to be walking to school next week and go to Water Street. These are the ones that are closest to me. Johnson Avenue, Wiseman, Oakdale. Now the children don't walk in there, but they walk on Water Street, they walk on Johnson Avenue. The lower part is where the two are there all the time. And if you look down lower, it talks about no person or cause permit to be placed upon the street, the sidewalk, or the public. So, you have a code, you don't have to have it say solid waste containers, because it does say any object, cars parked on the sidewalks, garbage cans. You need to have your code enforcer start enforcing the code.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you again for bringing it to our attention, but even more, thank you for coming to us with a solution. And Councilor Kinney, thank you for your help.
It doesn't take a lot of effort. It talks about, paper being, and I know they have the papers for the grass.
Mhm.
I've seen them on houses.
Mhm.
And that, the code enforcer made my husband move every spindle on the new porch that we had built, the steps.
Right.
Because of 3/4 of an inch. So they can enforce those. They need to enforce this, especially with our students. They shouldn't have to walk on the streets and because of cars or these garbage cans. And I know the ones that are on the grass, that don't know if they had, when they brought up in there, there's some kind of rule, but the main part of our town, it's a mess. So somebody needs to enforce the code. You already have it. You don't have to go to any extra.
We don't have to reinvent the wheel, do we?
That's
Well, thank you, and I'm sure the manager's heard the information, and we'll act accordingly. Thank you. Next, Mary Ballin. Barry, would you make sure that mic's on? I don't hear it very well, so it may be me. Just want to make sure the folks online can hear it. Yep, it's on.
Now we got it.
There we go.
All right. Good evening. My name is Barry Balon. I live at 145 Pennsylvania Avenue. And the discussion tonight that I'd like to present to you is gas prices in Bridgeport. Now, I know there's nothing you can do about the gas prices in Bridgeport, but you can put the people on notice that we're paying attention to them. Did some checking today before I came here. Parkersburg's $2.79, Morgantown's $2.78, Clarksburg's $3 a gallon, Fairmont's $2.79, Grafton's $2.72, Bridgeport is $3.19 a gallon. And what's interesting, every single station in Bridgeport is $3.19. Typically, there's one that's a little bit cheaper, maybe one that's a little bit more. Every single station in Bridgeport is $3.19. Why are they gouging Bridgeport residents? It's consistent. This has been going on for years, and they consistently do this. The average is $2.98. The lowest is $2.57. And again, I know there's nothing we can do about this, but we can put them on notice. If they want to expand, sorry. If they want to remodel, we don't have to approve that permit. If they want to open up a new gas station in the area, sorry, we don't have to do that. You have the power to not do anything. So we need to enforce what we can enforce. So thank you.
Well, thank you for bringing that to our attention. Thank you. Okay, those are the only two that have signed up. Is there anybody else that would like to address the council this evening? Seeing none, we'll move to the next item on the agenda, which is mayor's report. We have a lot to cover tonight, so I'll be very brief. First and foremost, I want to recognize former councilperson Diana Mara, who's here in attendance, and Ruth Allen. I hope I didn't miss anybody, but thank you guys for your attendance and your service to the city. Also, just very briefly on a personal note, when we got sworn in, we had a little trouble, or we couldn't find a Bible here at the City Hall to get sworn in. And I want to thank Oasis Worship Center and Pastor Doug Sands. They donated a Bible and had the city seal put in it. So we'll keep this here at the desk, and if anybody needs it, it'll hopefully remain right here. That's all I have on mayor's report. And that will move us to the report by the interim city manager.
All right, thank you, Mayor. So I will try to keep mine short, but there's a lot going on this time of year with the city, so it's not going to be as short as yours. But
Try. No, kid.
so the report from the Bridgeport Library. The library has installed new workstations that will make it much easier for patrons to save documents and photos in digital form. The system is called Scan Easy, and it's an all-in-one system that allows patrons to easily follow prompts to scan content to their email, smartphone, and USB storage. On August 20th at 5 o'clock, local historian Dick Duez will be presenting a program at the library on the history of Bridgeport schools from the 1800s to the present. And if you've never seen Dick Duez or his photos and stuff, it's pretty interesting, all the stuff he's put together, so it's probably worth your time. The report from the Bridgeport complex. Drew Callahan reported that, he got to help with the huge crowds that they had for National Night Out this week. And he mentioned what a true collaboration it was of all of our departments that were involved in pulling off that event. This Friday and Saturday, we held the Aviation Expo at the sports complex up there. It's a huge hit every year. Had a lot of kids out for that. There's a lot of unique aviation related experiences that get to show those kids that there's some opportunities here, is also to have some fun as well. I will mention that the groundbreaking for the next phase at the bridge is set for Tuesday, August 26th at 5:30 p.m. We hope you can all make it for that. Community development has so far this year has issued 584 permits for $60 million in construction. A few major things going on. The BFS on Main Street is looking to add a car wash. The city's asphalt jobs will be starting soon. We'll be having 9 streets that will be paved, and we approved that contract a few weeks ago. And the city will be hosting Leadership Harrison in October, and we do this every year. And we do sessions on leadership and local government for that. The fire department, they reported that they had 2 staff members enrolled in paramedic classes, successfully passed all skill testing, and will be taking the national registry test this week. Once completed, that will bring the total number of paramedics to 23 and 7 EMTs. And one of our EMTs has enrolled in paramedic class for this year and has already started that. Through our mutual aid, we loaned our spare ambulance out over the weekend to Anmore. Anmore handles about 90% of our mutual aid calls here in Bridgeport, and they were down about 12 to 24 hours that they used our backup ambulance on loan before they could get theirs repaired and back on the road. Human Resources, we have a new open position, and it's in the Public Works Department for an office administrator. So that job is being actively promoted right now. IT, we worked with a local contractor here to provide live streaming of our council meetings, and you can see the camera in the back of the room, and that's why I reminded everybody to use their microphones when you walked in today so that we can hear you online. It is a YouTube format, so it's very user-friendly, very easy, and we have a link at the top of our city website. And I understand we had a glitch already, but I think there's a way to see it right now. You just have to click on our YouTube or on that link and go to the YouTube page there. So working through the bugs. So Parks and Recreation, on Friday, August 1st, we had our back-to-school pool party at the Bridgeport pool. We assisted with the logistics for National Night Out, as we do every year. Friday, August 8th, we had a dive-in movie at the city pool, very well attended, and Monsters University was the movie we showed. The restrooms for both the Deegan Lake pickleball court and the inclusive playground have been ordered, and we anticipate about a 5-month order time to get those on site, and Public Works will have the utilities and everything ready to set that as soon as they contact us. Just a reminder that the pool season is winding down. We work really hard with our staff to remain open as long as we can, where a lot of local pools cannot. So we will not be open for our normal daily service once school returns to session, but we will be open weekends until Labor Day, just as long as there's not a football game or something like that where we run clear out of staff. So been a problem for years. Police Department, National Night Out was a great success. Last Tuesday, they hosted the annual National Night Out, and they're proud that it was overwhelming success. The event wouldn't have been possible without the incredible support of our sponsors and the hard work of all the dedicated city staff. As Chief Rogers says, it's truly a team effort, bringing together multiple departments and individuals committed to strengthening our community connections. And he wanted to thank everybody who made that event memorable. A few officer milestones. We'd like to congratulate Officers Hamrick and Bartley. And this is the younger Hamrick that we have on staff, just to point that out. On successfully completing their field training, they are now officially serving as solo officers on their assigned shifts, and we're excited for their careers to get kicked off. We also proud to announce that Cadets Bailey Hall and Travis Lowe are on track to graduate from the West Virginia State Police Academy on August 22nd. They will then also begin their field training the following week as they continue towards serving our community. And recruitment update, we'd like to extend our thanks to the Bridgeport Civil Service Commission, who recently completed testing and evaluations for a new list of eligible candidates. This updated list will allow us to begin the process of filling the current vacancy within the department, and I believe they're doing some interviews in another area of the building right now. Wastewater treatment plant, we've approved Pay App 24 to Orders Construction on the Headworks project. We have a couple issues that we're still working out with them. We've completed the major, I mentioned a few weeks ago that we had an EPA visit, and we have the majority of those issues, even though we haven't received our final report. The staff down there has corrected just about everything, that every comment they had that we have already been working on, and hoping to have all those closed out by the time we do reach that, or by the time we do receive that report. So both Bella Vista and Lodge Street sanitary projects, alternate main line extensions for the water and sewer have been approved by the Public Service Commission, and we are awaiting the availability of the developers to come in and sign the agreements, making them 100% complete and official, and that should be done by the end of the week. We have been actively working on some issues on James Street with sanitary sewer systems overloading. And we have, we're going to begin a study with Thrasher Engineering to study those areas and try to figure out what's a remedy for some of those problems up there. Public Works, we have been down preparing, helping Bridgeport High School prepare for the summers, or for their classes to kick back off, and they've had some sewer issues. So we've sent our camera crews down there to try to help them camera some of the lines and try to figure out where they're having some issues. I will mention, because Ms. Hott came in, that we have done a few proactive things with the trash cans issues. There has been several social media posts made, and there's a flyer that explains all the rules that will be included in this month's water bills. So, and that's all I have today.
Thank you. All right, item number 9, awards and presentations. We have a proclamation this evening for our emergency manager. Tim, if you want to come forward. I think I can be loud, but Madam Clerk, I don't know, that's a pretty small font. So, Jeff, if you want to hold that for me. Tim, thanks for coming, and I know you've got family things going on, and it's just, just shows what you do and what you are, that you can make it here this evening. Okay, I'll do my best. Tonight we're going to do a proclamation, whereas the U.S. Council of the International Association of Emergency Managers, IAEM USA, in an effort to promote understanding, awareness of the emergency management profession, and to build a deeper understanding of the role emergency managers play in their community, has launched the inaugural National Emergency Management Awareness Month to be observed in August 2025. And whereas emergency and disasters can occur unexpectedly, posing significant threat to life and property, and whereas local emergency managers, state emergency managers, and federal preparedness, response, recovery, and mitigation programs to protect the lives and the property of all those persons living in Bridgeport and the state of West Virginia, and whereas emergency managers across West Virginia are charged with establishing and maintaining the capabilities necessary to effectively direct, coordinate, and support emergency and disaster response efforts. And whereas emergency managers across West Virginia lead their communities in times of crisis with commitment, compassion, and professionalism. Now, therefore, I, Robert G. Matheny, Mayor of the City of Bridgeport, do hereby proclaim August 2025 as the first ever observance of National Emergency Management Awareness Month in the City of Bridgeport in recognition of this inaugural national incentive. In witness, therefore, I have unto set my hand and affix the seal of the City of Bridgeport, West Virginia, this 11th day of August 2025, signed by me, Robert G. Matheny, Mayor. Congratulations, Tim, and thank you. I think if you take that, or I'm not sure if we'll get that framed up for you, and
All right.
good work.
Thank
You
you.
want to say anything about emergency management?
You know, I just think with the changing federal climate as to what's going to happen nationally with emergency management, it's important that we keep the awareness up of what the locals do, especially with what's happened recently in Marion and Ohio counties with the flooding. All of us at the local level, you know, do this kind of work every day, regardless of what's happening at the federal level. So I think, you know, the next year is going to be very telling about where we're going as a nation with emergency management, but I think the local level is still going to be here kind of holding up the pieces. So thank you.
Thank you. Congratulations again. Okay, that will bring us to item number 10, reports. Item 10.1, report by William Ehlenfeld of Flannery Georgalis LLC. Mr. Ehlenfeld, if you'd step up to the podium and offer a report to the council.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for the opportunity to address council tonight. As the mayor said, I'm with the law firm of Flannery Georgalis, and tonight I just want to give some a brief statement about a little bit of the work that I did earlier this year. So I'll talk about what my firm did, what work remains to be done, and take any questions if you have them for me. I know the city wants to be transparent with regard to this investigation, but because of the sensitivity of the investigation and in order to protect the integrity of the investigation, there's only so much that I can share in a public setting tonight. So I just want to make that disclaimer before I get into this. So at the beginning of this year, I was contacted by City Manager Pat Ford about a letter that the city had received from the attorney for a former employee of the city raising allegations about the city. And after talking to City Manager Ford, my firm was engaged to do an internal investigation to look into the issues that were put into the letter by the attorney for this former employee. My firm has a deep bench of former federal prosecutors and federal agents, and so we put together a small team to conduct this investigation. This is something that we do throughout the Midwest. We do these types of investigations for municipalities like Bridgeport and for corporations and for small businesses and large businesses in places like Detroit and Columbus and Cleveland and Pittsburgh. And so this is something that we specialize in and do on a regular basis. And so with the blessing of counsel, the former counsel, we were brought in to begin an internal investigation into the allegations that were in the letter sent by counsel for the former employee. So the team consisted of myself, along with a partner from our Cleveland office and a former and retired federal agent who was an agent with the EPA and HHS and the leader of our investigative unit at the law firm. And so the three of us began speaking to current employees, former employees, and others about the allegations that were contained in that letter. We talked to people, we looked at records that were provided to us by the city, and then people that we interviewed also tendered records to us and provided things to us, which was just showed the level of cooperation that we experienced in the investigation. So in a very short period of time, we were prepared to put together a report with some findings and some recommendations. And we were in a position to provide it to the city. However, through our investigation of the allegations that were contained in that original letter, we learned about some other things that were not related at all to the initial allegations. And so on March the 10th, I met with City Council and asked if I should pursue these other areas of inquiry. That was not what we were originally engaged to do. And with the blessing of council, we were told to go ahead and look into these other areas that were brought up, not because we were looking for those things, not because we were initially tasked with looking into that area, but because those things were brought to our attention through interviewing a wide range of people. And so council blessed my firm looking and going down this other path. So I'm being intentionally vague here. So I it's a sensitive matter. We have Investigation A and Investigation B, right? So we were ready with a report in Investigation A, or ready to put it together and present it. And then Investigation B popped up, and the City Council asked us to look into that. So that was on March the 10th. On March the 24th, Council told us to stop working and not to do anything further. And so we did stop. So we were told to stand down at that point in time, and we haven't done anything since March the 24th, other than cooperate with the city, share some information with the city manager, the acting city manager. I've been in touch with him. But other than that, we haven't done anything else since March the 24th. It's my opinion, based upon my experience, and many of you know my background, that both reports would be beneficial to the city in a variety of ways. But obviously it's up to the city to decide if it wants me to go forward and wants my team to go forward. If we were to move forward with Investigation A, in a very short order, we could put together a report and have that ready. We were prepared to have it ready by mid-April if we were told to go forward. In regard to the second part of this, it would take some more time. We really hadn't gotten started. We had some information. We were able to corroborate a little bit of it, but there's much more work to be done there. And so if we were to move forward with that, I probably, after a few weeks of work, a month of work, I could come back to the council and give an update as to the progress that we've made, if we think we're getting somewhere with it, if we're completed with it, if there's light at the end of the tunnel. But at this moment, as I stand here today, it's hard for me to say how long that would actually take. We would have to do a little more work, and I could come back and provide an update to the council. Depending upon how that goes, we would also put together a report, and if there are findings to be made, we would make findings. If there are recommendations to be made, we would do that. That's typically what we do with internal investigation reports. We put together findings, recommendations, and we tender to the client, and our client is the City of Bridgeport. We would welcome the opportunity to finish what we started. There's more work to be done, without a doubt. I believe the city and its residents would benefit from my firm's continued work. But until I receive additional guidance from City Council, we'll continue to stand down.
Thank you, Mr. Ehlenfeld.
Thank you.
I do, if you would remain at the podium, I'm going to see if council has any questions. I do have one brief, council, but a question, but I just, and I want to say to the council, just if you have a question, just, seriously think about it and make sure it's something, and I'm sure Mr. Ehlenfeld will tell us if it's something that he can't answer in a public setting. My question is, you've indicated that you have somewhat of a Investigation A and Investigation B. So what you're saying here this evening is Investigation A is pretty much, the investigating part is finished. You just need to reduce it to writing at some point to be able to report back to us as a council as of your findings and possible solutions or recommendations?
Yes, sir. There was one additional person we were getting ready to interview on March the 24th of all days. That's the day we were told to stand down. Due to some technical difficulties, we were not able to talk to that person. So I think one more brief interview, and then yes, we're ready to put it into writing and present it to council.
Thank you. Council, we'll start to the right. I see Ms. Rollins, you're wanting to ask a question. Yeah.
I know it's a guesstimate, but roughly what would our financial obligation be to wrap up Investigation A and then B if we choose to go that route as well?
The first investigation would cost $15,000 to wrap up. Okay. The second one is difficult for me to say. Sure. Because we really haven't begun that process. We've gathered some valuable information. We've corroborated some things, but it would be difficult for me to estimate that at this time.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome.
That's an additional $15,000 to what's already been paid. This is what you're saying for
yes,
that
sir.
First investigation? Okay.
Councilor Rice, do you have anything?
I do not. I'm good.
Councilor Burton?
I'm good, thank you.
Councilman Campbell?
Good to see you again.
Good to see
Quick
you.
question. How many times did you meet with council, with the previous council concerning this case? That you came here physically and met with the previous council? Do you remember?
I remember 2 occasions.
Okay. And roughly, how many interviews did you conduct?
Approximately 20.
One of the things you mentioned in starting this investigation was this was not an accusatory investigation. This was not like we're going to go after and get someone. But it was also a tool that the city could use in the future, and the fact of some things that maybe we did wrong as a city, and looking back at this investigation or this report and say, hey, we can fix these things. Is that still accurate with your assessment?
So I believe the report would benefit the city in that, at least with regard to the first investigation, there would be recommendations made that I think would benefit the city going forward. I'm not prepared to say if the city did anything wrong or not, but I believe that the report would be beneficial to the city, make it stronger. It would show that it's listening to its current employees, former employees, and taking steps necessary to address anything that we might have found during the investigation.
Got it. In your investigation, in your report, have you sent any of that information of what you've uncovered so far to anyone in the city, or a city manager, interim, or former city manager?
Yes, we were asked to provide that information to the city manager when we were told to stand down.
Okay. And
we did.
And to date, you've been paid?
Yes.
For the work so far?
And I believe the attorney for the city also received the same information. It was sort of working with the city manager and counsel for the city. So they have that. And yes, we've been paid.
Okay. Thank you.
So I have another question, and I don't know if this is a question for Mr. Elenfield or for us. During that meeting back in April, I guess it was, there was a packet that was handed out. Is that something that we can have access to? I mean, I've had the occasion to talk with the attorney once, just to briefly hear some of this stuff, just slightly more detail than we got today. But haven't seen that same documentation that was provided to the city before. How can we get that? Or do we have to, are we in a position, since we're new, that we'd have to wait for that final report? Again, I don't know who to actually address this question to.
I can take a stab at it. I mean, the report that we got was just basically an overview. It wasn't really that much specifics.
Okay.
It would be something I would easily share with you.
So not much more than we got here, just probably with names associated with it.
I don't even think it had names.
Okay.
It was very vague in its context, so.
Okay.
One last question from me, Mr. Edenfeld. Is there any information that you think you could provide to this council in maybe an executive session that would be beneficial to us as we decide whether to go forward or not with this investigation?
Yes.
Okay, I'll ask you, if there's no other questions, if you wouldn't mind to stick around. In item 12.4, we're going to discuss pending legal matters in general. And if at that point, if the council would recommend that we go into executive session, I would like to invite you in if that's the will and pleasure of the council.
Of course, I'd be happy to.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
All right, item 11, unfinished business. There is none. Item 12 is new business. 12.1 is consider and act on the appointment of Councilor Clayton Rice to the Emergency Services Council for a term to expire June 30th, 2027. Is there any action on that item?
So moved as read.
Motion on that. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and a second on item 12.1. Any discussion among the council? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay. Ayes have it, motion carries. Congratulations, Councilor Rice.
Thank you.
12.2 is consideration and act on the appointment of Mayor Robert Matheny to the Harrison County Economic Development Authority for a term to expire June 30th, 2029. Any action of the council?
Motion to approve is read.
Motion on the floor, is there a second?
Second.
Motion is second. Any discussion among the council? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay. I'll go down as a abstain, since it's for me. Item 12.3, consider an act on a contract with Musco Sports Lighting LLC of, what is that? Oskaloosa, Alabama. That's fun to say. Oskaloosa, Iowa, to purchase and install tennis course lights for the Deegan Lake Tennis Court in the amount of $168,320 with a contingency of $6,680 for a total amount of $175,000. Is there any discussion, or is there any action the council like to take on that?
I'd like to make a motion, so moved as read.
Second.
Motion and a second on 12.3. Any discussion among the council?
I do have one question.
Yes, go ahead.
And it might have been in here, it's been a couple days since I read this. The previous had the pay with the decrease in cost of running these. Are we getting rid of the pay option and it'll just be on a timer?
Yes, we've been phasing all those out. This is a state-of-the-art LED system, similar to the system we installed at the pickleball courts and Compton Park basketball court. The energy savings is about 75% of what it cost us to run the old metal halide system that we're phasing out. So this will have the same touch button system that we have at the other courts for
Excellent.
free. So, yeah.
Joe, is Compton, or not Compton Park, the basketball courts on Virginia Street, is that on our list to replace eventually?
Yes, that's part of the master plan that we presented there a few years ago with the whole pool complex. And that's something that we have a little bit of money this year to start working on some of that design work for that. So that would probably be our next phase moving forward after this, is to start that Virginia Avenue Civic Center type of property down there. Yeah.
So is this saying coming the spring and the summer, people can play tennis outside at night?
Yes, I mean, you can play now, but it's on the old quarter system, on the old
Right.
metal halide system. So this will be, like I say, a state-of-the-art
Very good.
LED light system that's a much more enjoyable playing condition. But it's also the continued, the next phase of improvements that we've been doing throughout the park system. So last year we had all of our court surfaces resurfaced. So there's a brand new surface on the tennis courts out there, and this was the next step, was to replace the lighting. So it was budgeted and funded through the hotel motel fund.
Is there a curfew on when those will work, like after midnight or something like that? They
Yeah,
won't
the
work
new
anymore?
ones are much nicer because it's all computer controlled, so we can set a curfew. Usually about 10 o'clock we shut them off.
Oh, okay.
They have very little spillage over into the neighbors and parking lots and stuff, but
More
you know,
about the
just
noise that people might
the
make.
noise, right? Yeah. So most of our lights shut off at 10 o'clock now. So
All right, I think that's great. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed, nay? Ayes have it, motion carries. All right, that takes us to 12.4, discuss pending legal matters. Is there any discussion or any preference of the council, how we act on that item?
Is there any specific legal matters that we want to discuss other than what was already brought up that we can at least initiate here in this form? Or is the only one Mr. Elenfield?
No, Ms. Durst is here. She represents the insurance carrier for the city in a couple of legal matters. And
I'm guessing, given that that's a pending
those are
case.
personnel issues and
Yeah.
probably should be discussed.
Yeah, nothing can be done here, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, so if, but I think it's safe to say if we want to have further discussion, then it would be proper for a motion and a second to go into executive session.
I make a motion that we go into executive session after council comments.
Okay, yes. Is there a second? Motion on the second that we go into executive session on item 12.4 after council comments. Any discussion among the council for that? Okay, hearing none. Those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed, nay? Ayes have it. That motion will carry. Number 13, council comments. If we want to start at the right, Ms. Rominger.
No, I just wanted to thank all the emergency personnel. Mr. Curry getting that proclamation was fitting. Police and fire for specifically the power outage we had. You guys are on top of everything as always, so we appreciate you so much, so thank you.
I've got nothing.
Just want to reiterate National Night Out. What a hit. Mark, company, everybody did a great job. Huge crowd. Everybody had fun. Enjoyable atmosphere. Thank you.
Ditto.
I recognize that.
No, I don't have anything. Just thanks everybody for coming.
John Wilson used to sit in this chair and he'd always say ditto, so I'll just repeat it. But hey, school starts next week. Can y'all believe that? So it's kind of crazy, all the kids going back to school. So when I think of school starting, my son just got a new backpack and he was so excited. It's like a new time of year, right? It's you know, a new sport. Football comes back. It's a new step. And I'm just encouraged with the city of Bridgeport and the leadership that things are new, that as we get into a new school year, we get into a new legislative municipal government here. So let's keep our minds on that things are new. So that's all.
Thank you all for your comments. I will make just a brief comment because I missed it. As probably everybody knows, this is the first time probably since COVID that we went live stream with the council meeting. I understood from a few texts that I received that some things might have been a little cracky or whatnot out there, but we are working on it to perfect it. I want to thank the staff who worked really hard on making this happen. And I want to thank Jesse Eisner again. Although this has been discussed before, he really brought it back to the forefront and pushed for it. So thank you, Jesse, for bringing this up again. We are not on the agenda to make a decision on anything this evening. We will go into executive session. When we come out, we will adjourn. If there are any decisions that need to be made, we will that we think can't wait, then I think we have an option to call for a special council meeting early next week, or if there's action to be taken that can wait till the next council meeting, we'll do it that way. I'm just not sure what we're going to learn and what the desire of the council will be. But I just didn't want you sitting around or waiting for something that's not going to happen. So I wanted to give you that information. And with that being said, is there anything else? Okay, we will go into executive session. Thank you all for coming out tonight. Thank you everybody for tuning in live stream. I also want to invite, make sure that on the record that we invite Tiffany Durst and Bill Ehlenfeld in with the mayor and recorder and council to executive session.
You want to do it in conference room? Or you wanna
Probably should with the, with this.